Okay, for this example, we're going to be requiring some audio. So you might go and find some sound effects and Foley effects. And for now, I'm just going to make do with some of the media files that are in Windows already. So I will copy and paste these files into my root folder, which is currently in my documents. There we go. And maybe have a folder for this, call it audio. Just paste them in there. Copying and pasting them because obviously if we were working on a server we wouldn't have these sounds. Okay, so let's just play that. Okay, so some example files to use. Let's just go to Remover, create a new file. Be HTML again, and we'll do the JavaScript in the page to start off with. So I'll just put this as an audio example, and the first thing I want to do is in the body start inserting some audio. Not entirely sure whether Dreamweaver has got this far forwards. But yeah, I can insert HTML5 audio. So audio and controls, and inside of that I would need to put the source tag. And the source would be mouse for my audio. Let's go with balloon. We'll use a relative path until the time when I have save the file. So I'll save this file again, and this one can be just to save, and then we'll just double check and see where we are with that first off. Okay, so that played fine, and the intention is that we will have quite a few of these audio objects. Maybe get a bit busy, and then I'll just change the source on each one. So that I've got a series of differing sounds, maybe just 4 sounds for now, although ideally we'll fill this. Okay, so let's save that, double check. So now I've got a lot of audio objects. And they can all play independently of each other, but I don't necessarily want this page to be filled with audio objects in this way. So what we're going to do is try and link them to other objects that exist in the page and maybe a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, or within keeping of what I'm going to try and do. So for this I'm going to be using a div tag, which is just a division, because there isn't really a meaningful tag for what I'm about to do. The class will be circle. I'm going to create a div class, I'm going to style it to respond in a specific way. So let's start off with, I'm going to put some style up here, and just make sure that circle is of border radius 20 pixels, and the way we make it a circle is we give it a width of 20 pixels and a height of 20 pixels. So that turns into a circle. I'm actually going to use some inline styling here as well, I think, to set the background colour in the object itself for this one. So I maybe use classes further down the line for this, so I've got different types of blue things. Okay, so entry remover, it should appear like a square. It's a small square. Let's just check in the browser. It's a small dot. Okay, with no real response yet. I need to make it do something. In order to do that, it will definitely need an ID, so it will be unique for that respect. And we'll call this circle 1, perhaps. And I will add on-click event listener in this case for now, and we'll call this sound, and now I'm going to tell it that this is being called by circle 1. And then I'll build a function to respond to that. Which will be in script. Okay, just change that to sound. First thing I'm going to do, well, is show a variable being passed, so I'll just call it ID, and then we'll just alert out ID. See what happens there. Okay. So that's sent out the name that we want. Equally, we can also do this without passing that information explicitly by looking for the event that triggered this function, finding the target and then taking the ID from that, and that should also work. There we go, so that's alerted circle 1 again. So I can comment that out, 2 slashes in JavaScript, similar to ActionScript. And then I'm just going to put an if statement in there. So if event, actually this might be better to be put in a variable, so we'll just call it ID equals ID equals circle 1, and then what I'm going to do is just quickly console log that variable if that is the case to start off with. Yeah, it's passed through. And then just give this first audio an idea of SND1, so short for sound. And let's just see if we can not get dot get element by ID sound 1, which needs to go in speech marks. Dot there. There's a method. Just give that a little test. And now it's played it for us. Well, ideally there wouldn't be any dead space, so your audio files will probably need trimming to be of any use, and that is then extendable. So the idea is, what I'm going to do is take ID and then put actually keep all that. So we'll have if statements or else ifs. Obviously ifs is okay for this, so then we go for circle 2 and we'll go with sound 2, add an ID onto that, sound 2 for that one, create another div that can be called circle 2, and the background colour can be a slightly different colour. So just for a finishing touch, what I'm going to do is change the style of the audio objects now to be there, so I can go display, change that to none, so hopefully the players will disappear. Maybe make these circles slightly bigger, like 80 pixels, and just double check that. There we go. Yeah, looks like on. And with some audio editing, that will work out just fine.